Hi everyone, you're welcome back to the channel. My name is Sarah. On today's video, we're drafting and cutting this beautiful blouse. I'll be dropping the sewing video soon. So if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this video with your soul friends if you find it helpful. So guys, let's jump right into it. Because we are cutting an asymmetric neckline, your pattern paper should be on fold when you are cutting your front pattern. So for here, I came down by ½ inches. This is my startup line. Note your pattern paper should be on fold. Then after getting that, now we have to get the width of the neckline. For the width of my neckline, I'll be making use of the standard neckline, which is 3 inches. So I'll come here and mark 3 inches. Then the depth also will be 3 inches, the depth of my neckline, 3 inches. Now connect this line. Next we have to do is to get the shoulder measurement. The shoulder I'm working with is 14. 14 divided by 2 will give me 7 inches. Then I'll add ½ inches for seam allowance. That will give me 7.5. I'll put down 7.5 here. Then on this line here, I'll come down by 1 inches for my shoulder slope. Now connect this 1 inches I came down for my shoulder slope to the width of the neckline. Now the next we have to do is to get the chest line. To get your chest line, you divide your bust by 6 plus 1.5. The bust I'm working with is 44. 44 divided by 6 plus 1.5 will give me 8.5. On this 1 inches mark I have for my shoulder slope, I'll come down by 8.5. Then I will check what I have from my startup line. I have 10.25. So I'll bring it down here also. So after getting your chest line, the next you have to do is from your startup line, you get the shoulder to bust point. Shoulder to bust point is 12 inches. Then the next you have to get is shoulder to under bust. Shoulder to under bust I'm working with is 16 inches. Then after doing that, you have to get shoulder to waist. The shoulder to waist I'm working with is 21 inches. Then the length of the blouse is 25 inches. So now connect these lines together. I'm done connecting the lines. Now the next I have to do is to label my pattern. This chest line, bust points, under bust, and the waist. This is the blouse length. The next you have to do is to drop down your shoulder measurement on your chest line, which is 7.5. I'll connect with a straight line. Now the next we have to do is to get the nipple to nipple point. The nipple to nipple point I'm working with is 4.5. So on my bust point line, I'll put down 4.5. I'll put this 4.5 to the blouse length. So now I'll connect the lines together. So on the waistline, I will open my dart by 0.75. When you are drafting for a plus size, you use 0.75 for your dart intake, so it will snatch the waist very well. Here, I'll put down 0.75. I'll come to the center front also and put down 0.75. Then I'll come down for my bust point by 1 inches. That is not getting to the bust point. So now on the hem of the blouse, I will open my dart by 0.25. I'll connect my dart together. After connecting the dart legs, the next I have to do now is to divide my shoulder line into 2. For the shoulder line, I have 8.5 divided by 2. Then I'll come in by ½ inches for the shaping of my armhole. So now from this 1 inch I came down here, I will connect to a straight line. Then I'll finish up with my French curve. After getting the armhole, the next you have to do is to put down your bust measurement on your chest line. You divide your bust by 4. The bust I'm working with is 44. 44 divided by 4 will give me 11 inches. I'll put down my 11 inches here. Then I'll come to the waist. I'll divide my waist by 4. I have to drop down the waist measurement, but I want to snatch this blouse. They snatch the waist, so I'll minus 2 inches for my waist measurement. So the waist I'm working with is 40. We'll minus 2 inches from 40. We have 38. So now we are working with 38. So I will divide 38 by 4. 38 divided by 4 will give me 9.5. On the waist here, I'll put down 9.5. I will add my that intake I have here, which is 1.5. I will add it back. So you have to drop down the upper hip measurement on the blouse length. Not your hip. You know, you where your blouse will sit, that's where you drop your, that's where you measure around your tummy, that's the upper hip where the blouse will sit. So mine is 42 divided by 4 will give me 10.5. So on my blouse length here, I'll put down 10.5 here. Then I will check what I have for this dart intake on the blouse length. I have half inches. I'll put down half inches here also. So now connect from chest line to the waist. Then waist to hip this way. After connecting these lines together, now you have to shape in the hem of your blouse. I'll come up by 1.5 inches for the shaping of the blouse. This 1.5 inches I came here. Now I will have to put that hourglass effect we have. I will make use of 1 inches. So this is my 1 inches here. So now connect this 1 inches back to this waistline like this. Now you come up by 1.5 inches here. Now connect this 1.5 inches down to the center front this way, to my dart leg, this first dart leg here. Now we are done with the hem of the blouse. Next we have to do now is to put down the bust dart. So for my bust dart, I'm making use of 2 inches. I connect these 2 inches down to my nipple to nipple point here. After getting your bust dart, the next you have to do now is to tighten the under bust. The bust I'm working with is 36. 36 divided by 4 will give me 9 inches. So here I'll put down the 9 inches and check what I have left. I have 2 inches. On this center front here, I will come in on this first dart, on this dart leg here, this dart leg, and put down half inches here. Then I'll put down the remaining 1.5 inches on my side front. So now I'll connect these half inches back to my nipple to nipple point like this. And I'll turn my French curve and do the same thing. I'll connect these half inches down to the waist. So now the next we have to do now is to work on the princess dart. So now for my princess dart, you know we already divided the armhole by 2. I'll just make use of that and put my French curve this way and connect. Okay, this is the princess dart. Now I'll come out by half inches. I'll connect the half inches back to the armhole this way. This is the new armhole. I'm done with this. Now I'll cut this out. Before you continue cutting out, hold your bust dart in this way so you can blend back to the armhole. So when folding your bust dart, you fold from the hem this way. So we'll continue to cut. We have to work on the asymmetric neckline. So for the neckline, I've gone ahead to mark down my chest line so to serve as a guide. I'll make this place the right side of my fabric. Let's say this is the right side of my fabric and this is the left side of my fabric. So I want the asymmetric neckline to be at the right side. I'll add 1.5 inches again to this neckline. So now the width of my neckline is like 4.5 on fold or 4.75. From this 3 inches we have on the width of the neckline, I will just mark 1.5 here. Then this armhole we divided already. This will be the guide. This is where I want my asymmetric neckline to. From the hair you have 5 inches. On neckline here, I'll just mark down 5.25 here to just serve as a guide. Now I'll just connect this straight line first. Let's connect it to the center front. Let me fold my pattern paper. So after folding the pattern paper, this is what we have for the neckline. So now this is it. When the pattern paper is open, this is it. So now cut out the neckline. I'm done with the cutting of the front pattern. Now we have to draft the back pattern. For my back pattern, this line here is the startup line. Then I came in by 1 inches for my zipper allowance. But we are not making use of zipper. We are using loop for the back of this blouse. Then I've put down my chest line, which is 8.5. By the time we put down 1 inches here, okay, my chest line, which is 8.5, then shoulder to waist, which is 19 inches, then shoulder to the blouse length, 23 inches. The next we have to do now is to put down the neckline. So for my neckline, I will make use of 3 inches for the width. Then the depth will be 1 inches because this is the back pattern. Then I'll connect the lines together. I'm done connecting the neckline together. Now, shoulder measurement I'm working with is 7.5. On the chest line also, I'll put down 7.5. Now connect this with a straight line. Now I'll come down by 1 inch on my shoulder slope. Now connect it to the width of my neckline. The next we have to do is to divide this straight line we have here to get the armhole. We have 8.5. 8.5 divided by 2 will give me 4.25. I'll put that down here and I'll come in by ½ inches for the armhole shaping. I'll connect with a straight line first. Then I'll finish up with my curve. Now the next we have to do is to drop down the nipple to nipple measurement. So on my chest line, this is the chest line and this is the waist. So on the chest line, I'll put down 4.5, which is my nipple to nipple point. On the waist also 4.5, and on the blouse length 4.5. I'm done connecting the lines together. Now I'll open my darts by 0.75. When drafting a pattern for plus size, please make use of 0.75 to snatch the waist very well. When drafting for a smaller size, you make use of ½ inches. So now I'll come down for my chest line by 1 inches and I'll connect the dart legs together. After connecting the dart legs now, next we have to do now is to tighten the back to avoid zipper bulge. So I'll come in by ½ inches on my waist. So now I'll connect this down to the blouse length. Then I'll come down by 3 inches for my neck depth and mark. So after doing that, now we have to drop down the bust measurement. The bust I'm working with is 44. 44 divided by 4 will give me 11 inches. After this mark here, that's where I will drop down the 11 inches. Now the next we have to do is to drop down the waist measurements. 38 divided by 4 will give me 9.5. After this ½ inches for the zipper bulge, that's where I'll put down my 9.5. Then on the hip, I'll divide my hip by 4. The hip I'm working with, the upper hip, not just the hip, the upper hip I'm working with is 42. 42 divided by 4 will give me 10.5. We'll add this ½ inches we have on this dart leg here back. So now connect from the bust to the waist. Then now come up by 1.5 to shaping the hem of my blouse. Then from this 1.5 here, I will come out by 1 inches. This is the star line for the blouse. Now connect back to the waist. So now connect my blouse this way. After connecting the star line, now you connect on the hem, this 1.5 we have here, back to this dart leg here. So now we have to work on the neckline. For the neckline, I'll come out by 1.5 inches and mark. Then for the depth, I will use 5.25 for the depth of the neckline. Now connect. For the loop on the back, I'm making use of 2.5 inches. I want it to be very open. 2.5 inches. Then on the hem of the blouse, I will use 1.5 inches. I'll connect it together. So after connecting, this is the loop. So now this is our loop. This is the loop we are working with, not zipper. We are not making use of zipper, so it's loop. Now the next we have to do is to get the princess dart. So for the princess dart, I'll place my cuff this way and mark back to the nipple to nipple point. And I'll come out by 1/2 inches and connect back to the armhole. This is the new armhole. So now I'll cut this out and I'll tell you what to do next when I'm done. I'm through the cutting of the pattern paper and I've gone ahead also to cut on my fabric. This is the center back, you know, is having a loop, and this is the side front. For my side front, I add 1 inches for seam allowance, and for the center, for this side of the side front, I added 1/2 inches for joining allowance. Then for the side back also, 1 inches for seam allowance, then 1/2 inches at this side here for joining allowance. We are through with the drafting and the cutting of this blouse. I'll be dropping the sewing video soon. If you have any question, I'll be in the comment section. Please don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Please share this video with your sew friends. Thank you very much. See you in the next one. God bless you.